want to talk about something that made me really, really sad yesterday. So my cousin came over. He came over because he's starting a new life in Canada, and he needed to stay over for a bit, like before things get settled where he's moving. So that was when it was really highlighted to me that my family has no respect for me. My family has zero respect for me. They don't treat me with dignity. They don't see me as a person. They don't see me as a person with needs. They don't see me as, and the reason I say that is because multiple times I would ask for things and they wouldn't get done in front of my cousin. And it's very unnerving when like a family member comes over and you kind of have to be on your best behavior because obviously you don't want to show that there's cracks in the foundation, right? You might say it's not that deep, your family, but it's just how it is. You don't want to appear imperfect in front of someone who's not living with you every day, right? So the reason I say that I felt disrespected is because I noticed like my dad being really loud, and I would tell him, "Can you please lower your voice? I have to sleep the next day. I have a shift." And he would just be like, "Well, if you were really sleepy, you would have fallen asleep already." And he would say this in front of my cousin. So I shot back and I said, "Well, are you going to be the one working my shift tomorrow?" And my dad just gave me this glare, like, "You better leave before I say something that you're going to regret in front of your cousin, in front of your brother." And then the second time was I was trying to get some hangers from my own closet because I needed to hang up my jacket because we had switched rooms so that my cousin could take my bed. My brother just sarcastically goes, "Oh, there's a million hangers in the other closet, like you can just go there." It's like he can barely tolerate my presence to get something that I need. And when my cousin left, when he left yesterday, it just left this like hole because it just showed that regardless of someone being there or someone not being there, I have a visitor in the house or not, a guest in the house or not, my family will continue to disrespect me and just not see me as a valuable person. And I realized something really sad. I don't know what respect looks like. I don't know what respect looks like. I don't know what a safe, secure relationship looks like. I don't know, and I'm 31 years old. I don't know what dignity looks like, what being treated with dignity looks like. And the reason I say dignity is because I feel like my personhood is not recognized, is not valued. An example of this is my mom just does not recognize what space means to me, that I have my own thoughts, that I have my own actions. We can be in church, and there was one time this girl was behind us. She got newly married, right? And my mom's congratulating her, and we're standing in line. We're waiting to greet our priest and whatever, and to say, hi for the day and get the blessing. So we're standing in line, and I usually hate standing in line because I just don't want to socialize. I just don't want to talk to anybody. I want to go to church and I want to go home. I don't, nobody cares about me. So why should I, say hi when I don't want to? And my mom doesn't recognize this. She just expects me to have the same emotions as her. She just expects me to, be on the same mood, having the same mood as her. Like, she doesn't recognize my personhood. So this girl is standing behind us, and she's never said hi to me, so I just don't feel inclined to say hi to her. And she just got recently married and whatever, and my mom was congratulating her and saying, "Oh my goodness, congrats, like this is a major chapter of your life," whatever. My mom's standing right beside me. I refuse to turn around and say congrats because I just don't want to. I was in a bad mood and I don't want to. So what does my mom do? Instead of recognizing that I clearly don't want to turn around and say congratulations, no, she points it out in front of her and she says, "What, you're not going to say congrats? Mary, Monica's right behind you. You should, I literally turned my head to my mom and said, "I don't care. Um, this is what I'm talking about. It's just, or one time, we had to like, I remember this vividly. I was like, I don't know, 12 or 13, and I was just too tired to stand in the line for communion, and my mom pinched me. She pinched me, and I said, ow. I started crying in front of everyone because she's like, get up. Like, she just does not recognize that I have separate needs from her, that I'm different from her. So that's what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know what respect looks like, and that in itself is a trauma. It's really sad. And I see how other children, I'm not a child, but like I see how other like adult parent relationships are like, and the parents have complete respect for their kids. They have complete recognition that this is a person separate from them, that they have their own thoughts, that we are to respect their dignity even if we don't always agree with them. It's different, and I'll never know what that feels like, and that's so sad. And you know what? If I ever have a kid, they will never experience this. They will never experience like not being treated like a human being, or like not recognize that like they're a separate entity from me. And you know, one time I was watching Call the Midwives, which is a really good show. I remember this nurse she was kind of like, she grew up like pretty privileged. So she was serving a population that was, you know, poor, not so affluent, you know, conditions are not great. These are truly poor people. So she had come across a patient that was, she was a prostitute, and she got pregnant by her boyfriend, and he left her. And basically she was in the care of a priest at that point, that girl that had gotten pregnant, the prostitute. So the nurse was talking to the priest, because back then, you know, the church would kind of assume responsibility for the poor and things like that. Orphanages and the like was pretty much run by the church. So this nurse was talking to the privileged nurse. She was talking to the priest. She was saying, you know, how can she do such a thing? Like, how can she put herself in such a position? And he said something that really stuck with me, because it resonated with me, because even though I'm not in the same situation, I've experienced this. And what he said is that women, she was saying, oh, I don't know, I didn't know that people lived like this, that they had such poverty or something like that. He said, poverty is not, you know, just like dirty rooms and dirty conditions and like not having money. It's not poverty. It's a lack of respect. It's a lack of dignity. These women have never been protected a day in their life. These women have never had, you know, their feelings be checked on. Like it's their very dignity not being protected. And I just recognized at 31 years old, I'm going to have to learn what respect looks like, what it looks like in a family, what it looks like in relationships, because this huge lack in my life has led to so many undesirable situations that I shouldn't have been in, that I wouldn't have gotten myself into had I known better, had I been raised better, had I had more protective parents. It's sad. And if this video resonates with you, I would encourage you to do the same. Educate yourself on what respect looks like, on what safety looks like in a relationship. Because not all of us get everything we want. So it's just the truth.